What's going on, guys? I wanted to record a quick video reaction for 13 Reasons Why before I do my podcast with my friend. I think it's going to get pretty heavy, so I wanted to get my thoughts in order and straightened out before actually talking to him about it. So, if you watched the first podcast, we watched the first 4 episodes of 13 Reasons Why on Netflix. It is a story telling 13 reasons why a girl committed suicide. It's got some very deep and meaningful themes. I hope it kickstarts a larger talk in this nation about helping younger adolescents and early 20-year olds to deal a little bit more than they've ever been asked to deal with. I think as a culture and society, we are evolving as people, and that in turn means our brains are becoming better than they and more efficient than they ever have been. The downside to that is no one's equipped to deal with how efficient their brain is working. Early 20s, a lot more chemicals are being dumped into your system that were ever there before, and I really think it started probably the 90s and 2000s that we hit this evolutionary process. So it's new territory for a lot of people. Um, and I think a good deal of us are just trying to figure out how to make it forward to. Um, I want to also say that if you are having suicidal thoughts or you want to talk to somebody, reach out. I've been on that both sides of the coin. I've helped friends 3 o'clock in the morning phone calls. I've been there when they've made attempts. I've also myself have come close. So reaching out is the best way. Um, Even if everything seems impossible, taking one tiny step towards getting help is a much bigger step than not taking a step at all. I think if you watch 13 Reasons Why, they also have a half-hour documentary called Beyond the Reasons, where they talk about a lot of the filmmaking choices that they decided to take with the show. It's a very good watch. Highly recommend it. Also, with that, if you're having thoughts and need to find places to reach out to, you can check out the website 13reasonswhy.info. I'll include the link down below. Hopefully, I'll remember to put in more links to suicide prevention and stuff like that. But if I don't, know that you can always reach out to me. My Twitter is Samurai Ox. Probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. I get notified on my phone, and I will have a conversation with you if that's all you need, if that's all you want. Most of the time, a lot of suicides can be prevented with. I shouldn't say prevented. A lot of help can be found in talking to friends, or at least just talking it and getting some of those poisonous thoughts out of your mind. So feel free, reach out to me on Twitter. It's the easiest way you're going to find me. I also have a public Facebook. Everything you can see on my Facebook is very public. It's facebook.com/ox666. Stupid vanity plates. Got it a decade ago. Just leaving it for the time being because it's easy to remember. You can hit me up there, but please reach out to somebody, even if it's me, somebody you don't even know. I'm a good listener, and I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I can at least sit with you in this dark hole that you think the world is spiraling into. So, with that being said, it takes a very brutal look at this suicide and what had led to it. Highly recommend the series. It, like I said, I hope it develops into this bigger conversation that this nation needs to have, dealing with mental illness and stuff like that. Not only that, the show's shot really well. I felt bad going into it, because I'm not a person who enjoys binging series. That's why that first week we only did the first 4 episodes, because there was no way I was going to make it through 13. I would have liked to have even taken it, split it into 3 different parts. There are 3 very big arcs to the story, I suppose. First 4 episodes do a good job of setting up the stage, the highlights, what's going on, why this is happening, I guess. Then probably the next 4 really set in motion bigger events that triggered it all. And then these last 5 episodes turn it up to 11 and like go further than you expect them to go, and give a really good look at a few different things, and really make you question if there's times that you've maybe done this to somebody else, and maybe gives you a good reason to empathize with the protagonists, antagonists, whatever the good guys, I guess. I don't know. But throughout this story, you're following the point of view from Clay, who is on this list of the 13 reasons. And he's been passed these set of tapes that go through the people that have wronged her and given her reasons to take her life. He's not sure why he's on that list, but it comes to tell why he's on that list. I think probably now I'm going to get into spoiler territory. I'll say a few more things. The show itself did a really good job of giving you a tease of what you think may be happening, and then paying it off almost a couple minutes later. A lot of the pieces fell into place just where they needed to be, and it really set up this narrative that was easy to follow, but also kept you wondering about what was happening with everybody else. There was I thought it was great character development. Also, there were times that I would think that I would know where something was happening, and it would do a twist and turn it on its side, and I'd be right along for the ride. Just surprised that I was incorrect, I guess. Let's see. So yeah, now we're gonna get into spoiler territory. I figured it would be pretty poetic to have like a Romeo and Juliet scenario. I had never wanted to be more wrong about being right when I was when Clay's tape was being revealed. Got pretty heavy for his. But when we got back into the series, I think it was either 5 or 6. I figured it could possibly be this Romeo and Juliet tale, but I was quickly shot down from something that happened in the show about plans that could entail setting up that type of scenario. So I was like, well, that's not going to happen. It was so wild. Also, there was this poetry group I thought was a great look at something that wasn't related to school, and like how that spilled over into her life. That's basically school. Also, this hill climb scene. A lot of great messaging in that. Taking on something that you know is going to be damaging, possibility of hurting. as much easier than trying to avoid doing that. Um, and then you have this party scene that kind of culminates for that middle half section. It gives a really good look at why, what those parties were like back in those school, and how like little things seemed like really big things. And I mean, I've been out of high school for 15 years, but it felt very real and very realistic to me. Um, so then you get to Clay's tape, and it is so heart wrenchingly well written. Um, this is the point where I was hoping I was wrong. I was hoping with every fiber of my being that I was wrong. But it turns out that she tries to protect him by telling him they shouldn't be together. Even though she knows that they would be good together, she has this feeling that she would drag him down and make him worse off than if he had never had her. Which is a really shitty thing for people to do, but I mean, it happens, so it's part of real life. And when that moment hits, it's so jaw dropping that somebody would feel themselves so poisonous to other people. And I mean, I've been there. I've figured the world would be better off with me a couple points, but as a 33-year-old male, I'm glad I'm still here and I can get this message out to more people. As far as all that is concerned, it so got done with Clay's tape, and I was so pissed off that I was wrong. And I knew me and my friend were gonna have this talk, and I'm very vocal on social media, so I knew he would have a good idea about my feelings on the show. So I didn't want to play that card. I didn't want to talk too much about it. So I wrote a little thing on Facebook about, and it literally said, 13 reasons why. How about fuck you? Also, to hell with binge culture, stupid and dumb, and I hate your face, and indiscernible muttering. And I just left that message there, status update, whatever, for an hour or so, and a few friends started chiming in. And there were the friends that hated this. They didn't. They didn't like the series because it just made them feel depressed the whole way through, and I get that. I mean, it's a heavy watch. It. I also feel like it's a very necessary one. It's a heavy journey. One of my younger friends chimed in and couldn't understand the dragging this person that you knew you'd be perfect with, but kept him at arm's length through all of this extra trauma. And I just wanted to reach out and be like, listen, you're gonna have to deal with that. Like, every great love is going to end in tragedy, and like that's just part of life, and that's what makes it great, is that you get to experience those loves. I think life would be pretty boring without all of that. But then it only gets way heavier after that. I don't want to ruin it, so I'm going to stop right there. Those last 3 episodes are really heavy, especially the last one. I was surprised the Netflix series could get away with it, but I also am glad that they did, because I think it's very necessary. Like I keep saying, I hope you take time to watch the series. If you do, drop some comments down below. Try to watch out for spoilers. If you would rather, if you think something you're going to say is spoilery, I'd say probably reach out to me on Twitter or on Facebook. Add me as a friend. And we can chat about it over there. But that's where I'm going to leave it there. We will be doing a podcast later, going over the second 2/3, I guess, of the series. If you haven't checked the first podcast out, I'm sure it's linked down below and they're up in the corner. Definitely check that out. I really enjoyed their talk. I think I'm gonna really enjoy this next talk, but like it's gonna get really raw and really, really heavy with the both of us. So, with that being said, thanks for taking a moment to check out this little review before I record that podcast. So, these are all the thoughts I had before that. Some of them might have changed. Definitely check out that podcast. I'll link it afterwards. Check out the show. Like I said, if you have any suicidal thoughts or tendencies, please reach out to somebody, because you shouldn't be ashamed for asking for help. I know it took me a lot to ask for help, but I'm glad I did, because having that support in my system, in my life, has made a lot of things a lot easier. And now that my brain's kind of straightened out, I'm glad that I don't have those tendencies. I still have bad days. I still have days where depression just eats me alive and I just don't want to get out of bed. But I do have great friends, and if you think the world's against you, I can trust you it's not. And I'm here for you. So thanks for checking this out. Yeah, find me on social media, and we can talk about some more, or we can talk about whatever you want. I'm into cars, comics, music, all that stuff. I love you guys, and I will check you out on the next video.